All right, we have Ashish here and we are already streaming live inside a Facebook group. So if you're able to hear me and if you're able to see me, type in hi in the chat box so I know you're able to hear me and you're able to see me. Hey Ashish, hi Preeti, good to see you. Thank you so much for joining. All right, we have Ishita. Okay, we have Preeti, we have Ashish. Awesome. So guys, I know Preeti. Preeti, I've coached her personally, so I know if about Ashish, Ishita, you guys can just tell me where are you from? How did you get to know about this challenge? And we just say hi, hello for a couple of minutes. It's the first day, and then we get started. All right. And if you're already watching this as live inside a Facebook group, then yeah, Sunanda ji is inside our Facebook group. Hi, Sunanda. I know you really well. And if you would like, you can join us in the Zoom, which will be more real time. So yeah, thank you so much for joining. And without further ado, I'm from Kolkata, says Ashish. Awesome. Good to see you, Ashish, here. I'm also in Facebook. Okay, got it. We have Vikas is here. Hey, Vikas, thank you for joining. All right. So now, without further ado, we are 3 minutes into this, and I'm going to share my screen, and we're going to get started. So, what are we here for? We are here for this thing called Healthy Lifestyle Challenge. Okay, it's a 5-day training program that is designed especially for busy professionals, right? And if you want to get into the best shape of your life and stay that way, starting now, this is for you. Like Diwali is over, New Year is still far away, if you don't want to wait for New Year to take a New Year resolution and then start your health and fitness journey, this is a perfect place, perfect time for you. So are you guys ready? Type in ready in the chat box if you're ready. Yeah, Preeti says ready. Ashish is ready. Vikas is ready. Awesome. Thank you so much. So guys, if you have any questions while we do this, feel free to put it in the chat. You can also make a note of it and ask me at the end, right? I'll be here. I want to make sure that I answer all the questions that you have. So if you're here, feel free to ask questions. I will make sure that I answer them, right? Now, so for those of you who don't know me, my name is Dhaval Padesha and I am a nutrition, health, and lifestyle coach. But before I start teaching you, I want to tell you what is this training all about and why this particular training. Because I believe healthy lifestyle should bring happiness and confidence to thrive in all areas of life. Okay. If having or building a healthy lifestyle feels like a punishment and it is overwhelming, then it is not healthy, right? Because health in more is more than just weight loss. If you believe in the same thing, type in make sense or MS if you also believe that this is what it is. Because if you believe in this, then everything that I'm going to teach you for the next 5 days is going to make sense to you. Because if it doesn't, if you feel that okay, you have to go no pain no gain way, or you have to become miserable after your workouts, you have to give up on all your favorite food, social life to really be healthy, then this training is not for you, right? You would not enjoy it. But if you really want to live a happy and healthy life, this is for you. And I can see a lot of making sense comments over here, so thank you so much. So let's get started. Over the next 5 days, what I will cover is day one, which is today. I'll give you an overview and secrets of physical movement and exercise. That's day one. Day two is the secrets of food and nutrition. Day 3 is the secrets of stress, sleep, and recovery. Day 4 is the secrets of overeating, alcohol, injuries, craving, stress eating, all of that stuff. Day 5 is the biggest deal, which is secrets of mindset for achieving sustainable health and fitness. How many of you are excited for this? Type in E if you are excited about it. I see we have new participants coming in. We have Shivu coming in. Awesome. Vikas, Preeti, Shivu. We have Mohan as well. Thank you so much. All right. So, for those of you who don't know about me, right? Before I move forward, let me share a little bit about myself so you know who you're talking to. I have lived a healthy lifestyle for more than 22 years. Okay. And in spite of being busy with work, kids, and family, like I've been an IT cloud architect. And while I was working as an IT cloud architect, I was working and having another 4 to 5 ventures. Okay. So I know what busy life looks like. And even with that busy life, I've lived this. And I have Shiva over here who was my colleague at Microsoft. So, he knows what I'm talking about. I have Preeti, I have Sunandaji over here. These two women, I've coached them personally. So, you know what I'm talking about. I have maintained my health and my weight all through my adult life. So I know what I'm talking about. I'm not somebody who just lost weight 6 months back and now it's teaching everybody how to lose weight, because I went about this in a very, very systematic way. I went into the best places in the world to learn about it. I have coached more than 500 busy professionals personally, and I have trained more than 10,000 people in this area. So this is not the first time I'm doing any kind of training. If you're new to this, probably you know a little bit about me, right? So I have actively worked upon and learned everything. I went to American Council on Exercise. I went to Precision Nutrition, which is world's best nutrition coaching school, and I have learned things from them. And I have my continuous education even now to make sure that I learn best things in health and fitness, right? So you know you are in the safe hands. Got it? Type in got it if you've got it so far. Yeah, we have Saurabh here as well. Thank you for joining, Saurabh. Thank you, Preeti. I know you know it, right? Awesome. All right. So let's dive in, because this is going to be very, very, surprising for you. Secrets of physical exercise and movement. Now, does anybody want to share with me what do they think, or what thought comes to their mind as soon as they say physical exercise and movement? What comes to their mind? What comes to your mind when you think about exercise and movement? What the feeling? What's the feeling that comes to your mind? Put it in the chat box. I would love to see that. Right? If you're in Facebook, I'll jump in there and have a check at the comments there. But if you're here already in the Zoom, you can come in and put your comments in the chat box. I would love to hear that. Okay. All right. No thoughts, no comments. Let me share mine. All right. Here is what it is. Exercise. Okay. Something is coming in. Imperative, jogging, lifting weights. Okay. Awesome. Now, here is the thing. Thank you so much. Exercise should make us feel, look, and perform better. Okay. And not crush us, right? So exercise is what makes our life better and not miserable. It is not a punishment. It is not a pressure. It is not pain. It's not about no pain, no gain. And regular movement should help us function freely and not incapacitate us, which means you should be able to move, like get down, get up, bend down, lift, and do things in your day-to-day life the way you want. You should be able to play with your kids without getting tired, without thinking, oh, if I bend down, my back is going to hurt. No, you don't have to be that way, right? Imagine this. What if you could leave the gym feeling energized and not exhausted? Or any exercise, if you feel energized, how would that be? What if instead of doing more, you could actually do better exercise and movement? What would that be for you? Right? Tell me in the chat box. I'm here, I'm listening to you. Put it in the chat box. And if you're going to watch this as a recording later on, you can watch as at a little faster speed. But I want to make sure that I cater to everybody who's listening right now, right? Live, want to interact, and that's why this is live training. Much better. I'm listening to this, Shiva. Awesome. Yeah, absolutely. Because what I have seen, and I've trained people in multiple gyms across Bangalore, and I've worked out at multiple gyms across the world. People feel really exhausted and tired, especially if you're a professional who's using his brain to work throughout the day, like what I was when I was in IT. It's not something that you want from the gym. You want your energy levels to be high so that you can live better, you can perform better, right? Heaven, absolutely. So let's talk about benefits of exercise and physical activity. I'm not going to go into detail of this. If anybody wants this, put it in the chat, or shoot me an email. I'll give you a complete infographic, nutrition and fitness for busy professionals, which I have. You can do that, but I'll just put this here. And exercise improves your brain capacity. You are less susceptible to the stroke, okay, which is good. It increases your neural pathway conductivity, which means you're thinking better. Neuroplasticity, which means you have a physiologically growth in your brain, physiological growth in your brain. Your mood becomes better, you sleep better, and you function better, right? Your veins and arteries become more elastic, your blood circulation, your heart gets better. Your respiratory system improves, your metabolism improves, right? Your insulin sensitivity gets better, especially if anybody has type 2 diabetes. Exercise is amazing thing for you to do, right? It improves your nutritional intake and storage of fat. It decreases storage and makes sure that the nutrient participants or the partitioning happens better. And it improves your resting metabolic rate, which people say, oh, how do I improve my metabolism? This is how you do it. It improves your muscle quality and strength. It actually helps your skeleton with improved joints and improved bones. Make sense? Is it making sense? Okay, I have to mute everybody because somebody is having a background noise. If you want to unmute yourself, do that, but otherwise stay in the mute. Yeah. Here is the thing. Understand, exercise is not, and I want to make sure that it is not a tool or only tool to lose weight, right? You don't exercise because you want to lose weight. You exercise because you really want to live better, right? Now, but Dhaval, I want to lose weight, right? How many of you want to lose weight? Type in lose in the chat box if you want to lose weight. And that's absolutely fine. I had people do that. So there is nothing wrong with losing weight. But how many of you really want to lose weight? Ashish, Volga. Okay, who else? We have Ashish, we have Volga. Only two of you want to lose weight? Okay. Sustain, Preeti. I know you got to sustain. You've been doing that weight very well for what, 3 years now? Vikas, awesome. All right. Okay. If you guys want to lose weight, this is going to be an awesome training for you because this is going to open up your eyes in multiple levels. Lose some more, Sunandaji? Absolutely. Yeah. You can do it. So here is the thing. If you look at this chart, little bit of science, but I'll simplify that for you. Exercise activity consists of only 5% of your energy expenditure, which means the total amount of calories that you burn on daily basis, exercise consists of only 5. Okay. And there is something called non-exercise activity, which actually consists of 15% of your daily energy expenditure. And then there is TEF, which is thermogenic effect of food, and BMR, which is base metabolic rate. Now, what we're going to do is I'm going to simplify this and give you example. Okay. What does it mean? It means very simple. When you focus just on exercise, which is just 5% of your total daily energy expenditure, which means the amount of calories that you burn in simple language, just one bad meal can ruin your exercise. Again, what I'm saying is that can ruin your weight loss effort. The benefits of exercise still remain, but it will not help you lose weight. Because say, for example, average TDEE or average amount of calories that you're going to burn is 2000, and 5% of 2000 is 100 calories. One KFC Zinger burger is 450 calories. Okay, one mac cheese is 330. A dairy milk bar is 200 calories, just 40 grams of small dairy milk bar. And one cup of tea is 150 calories. So can you see just one bad meal can screw up your weight loss effort in a no time if you're depending only on exercise. Are you with me? Type in with you so far. It was BMR, Puneet, which is base metabolic rate. Yeah, Preeti says with you. Shiva says with you. Okay, awesome. Right? So that is BMR, need, thermogenic effect of food and eat. Okay, which is exercise activity. Thermogenic effect of food is the amount of calories required to digest your food, and need, which is non-exercise activity, and BMR is your resting energy expenditure. Like if you're lying down on a bed, even then, you're burning calories, right? Now, here is the thing. We keep missing exercise. Do we all agree? When we get busy, the first thing that we skip is exercise. When we travel, the first thing that we miss is exercise. When there are festivals, celebrations, the first thing that we miss is exercise. When we fall sick, first thing that we miss is exercise. When there are changes in our schedule, what we do, we miss exercise. Yeah. Now, here is the thing, right? If exercise consists of only such a small portion of the energy expenditure, and if we keep missing it, does it really help us lose weight in a very effective way? What do you think? I'm going to prove with multiple examples and options over here, but what do you think? If it's just a small thing, does it really help? No. Okay. Thank you, Ashish. Now, here is the other thing. But Dhaval, I will do more exercise and burn more calories. Who is thinking like that? If you're thinking like that, type in me that it's not just 100 calories. My Fitbit shows 300, 400, 900, whatever. I will do more exercise, right? Okay, awesome, Volga, to some extent. Anybody is thinking that I can do more exercise and burn more calories? Anybody here? Yeah. Here is what I'm going to, some more surprise. If you actually want to, burn more calories and do more exercise, then there are only two ways you can do it. Either you have to increase the time spent, or you have to increase the intensity. Do you guys agree? Either you spend more time or you have to increase intensity. Yes? Making sense? Now, yeah, Preeti says makes sense. But as busy professionals, what is the biggest struggle that we have? Time. We don't have time. We are already struggling to make time. Yes or yes? Now, the other option that you're left with is increasing intensity. Now, as busy professionals who's not working out regularly, who doesn't have enough time and living a sedentary lifestyle, what happens when you increase the intensity? Your chances of injury goes really, really high, which means either you get injured or you get too much of body pain and soreness in the next day. And when you get body pain and soreness from the exercise session that you had, what does it create? It creates a negative feeling towards exercise, and your brain subconsciously does not like it. Okay. Now you know it is good for you, but the pain that is going to result is going to stop you from going to gym or doing that exercise again. Now, when that happens, which means you're emotionally not aligned with exercise, when that happens, it reduces your chances of being consistent. Now, when you have more pain, you have soreness, you have stiffness, what does your body do? It avoids your other thing, which is called need. When you're not feeling good, you don't want to get up from your desk, you don't want to take stairs, you don't want to stand up, you don't want to walk, you just want to rest and recover. So the normal movement that you are doing during the day, which actually consists of 15% of your daily energy expenditure, shrinks by increasing the thing that you want to do, which is your exercise. Is it clear? Are you guys with me? Type in clear if this is clear to you, because this is very, very important. Yeah? Clear? Okay, Preeti says clear. Thank you, Saurabh, Shiva. Awesome. Thank you guys. AK, VM. Yeah. Now, there is some more. This also reduces your energy levels and also makes focusing on work difficult. How many of you have experienced that? That if you have a very painful workout in the gym, you're not able to focus on your work throughout the day, right? Now, that has happened. So you have time crunch, you have pain, you have work pressure, you have poor results from the workout because you're not compliant. What do you end up doing? You end up quitting that plan, right? And this is the first experience. If that is first experience, it's very critical because this create memories, or what we call it as emotional impressions in your brain. That is not really great. And next time you try to exercise, your brain now predicts the outcome and signals you to avoid it. ओ आज नहीं जाते यार, आज बहुत काम है, जरूरी मीटिंग है, there is something else that's happening today, let's not exercise today because it's going to bring pain, soreness, or lack of energy, all of these things. This creates more resistance. How many of you faced it? Type in me if you have actually, experienced this thing. Yeah. Thank you, Olga, Preeti, Saurabh. Awesome. Thank you, guys. So you are in for surprise. If you have experienced this, now you're going to learn what to do better, right? The other issue which people don't understand, and I can see Punit is over here. Punit, some of the things that we talked about, the efficiency of longer exercise session is a problem. Here, 1-to-1 is not 2, it is actually about 1.5. So from no exercise or to low exercise, when you start doing more exercise, this is what happens. For example, if you walk for 60 minutes, first 15 minutes, you will burn more energy. Then as you get tired, for another 16 minutes, you slow down. Your body will adapt to this activity and it will reduce the energy expenditure over a period of time. So slowly it increases, then it plateaus. And then over a period of time, longer the session, lower the energy burn per minute during or using the same thing. This is what happens. So even if you think that, longer cardio, especially longer cardio sessions are going to be really helpful to you in, losing weight, you are in for a surprise. It is not, right? Now, long-term effect of this is, very, very simple. Your total energy expenditure will reduce because your need goes down. When your exercise activity increases, your need goes down. And again, this is not me who is telling you all these things out of, my whims and fancies. There are 2 scientific studies, okay, which has proved this, that when you put people under additional exercise, their actual, total energy expenditure throughout the day over a period of time reduces. How many of you have this aha moment now, or feeling like, shit, man, I didn't know what I was doing wrong? Are you learning something? Type in learning if you're learning something over here. So I know you're learning. Shiva says learning, Volga learning. Okay, awesome. Thank you, Preeti, Volga, Shiva. Great. So I'm glad that you're learning. Yeah, Soumya says learning, Ashish. Awesome. Great. So now, what do you do? Okay, I'm going to come to certain basic things now. You got to focus more on need, especially if you're a busy professional who is struggling to make time to go to gym or make time to work out. This is what you got to be doing. How do you focus on need, which is non-exercise activity thermogenesis? Standing desk. Okay, you can actually, set up your desk and work while you're standing. That helps you burn more calories than what you do while sitting. You can actually walk while you talk. Many a times when I'm talking to my friends, or any of these, which is a casual talk, I start walking, right? So you can walk, you can take stairs, 1 or 2 stairs in a day. You can do your own household chores to really, burn some calories. You can walk to a nearby store instead of doing Swiggy, Zomato, Zapto, Blinkit, all of these things to buy few things if it is not urgent. You can walk up to your colleague's desk rather than pinging them on Skype and link and all that stuff. You can go water the plants in your garden or somebody else's garden if you don't have plants. You can help your spouse in the kitchen, especially for the men. If your spouse is cooking, you will earn some brownie points as well. And there are n number of things that you can do physically, for need. You can play with your kids. You can do anything that you want, which is physical. And when you increase this, why does it help? Number one, you don't have to schedule time for this. Okay, even 2 minutes, 3 minutes is absolutely fine. You can do it and make it part of your life, which is what we call it about habit. That, okay, whenever I see stairs, I take stairs. That's an habit. Whenever I want something, I just walk up to the store rather than taking a bike or doing, Zomato, Swiggy kind of stuff, etc. Right? So these are all habits that you cultivate. You walk up to a colleague's desk, you walk up to a meeting room which is on the opposite side of the building rather than one which is next to your desk, right? These are all the things that you can do. Is it making sense? And you know while you do that, this is actually going to help you burn more calories than what exercise can ever. Okay, because let me tell you, for busy professionals, and I've lived this life for 22 years, I'm not telling you out of my whims and fancies, getting that 1 hour out every single day is very, very difficult. Most people can only be consistent with 20 to 40 minutes in a day, about 4 to 5 days a week. That's how you will be consistent with your exercise. But these are the things you can do it any day, anytime. Even if you're traveling, you can do a lot of these. You can walk around, you can see places, you can increase your activity, right? Even there are celebrations and festivals, you can decorate your home, your office. So you can do all these things, even if, there is holiday, there is travel, there are festivals, all of that stuff. Is it making sense? Yeah, if you got the need, type in need, and then I'll go to the next slide. Because need is really need. Yeah. Yeah, we need, Volga. And this, by the way, when we say, okay, we are living a sedentary life, what we actually mean is that we are not having enough need in our day. Okay, that's a sedentary life. All you have to do is switch it to the active life. Awesome. We have needs and needs over here. Thank you so much. Now, here are a few things to understand about how our brain and psychology works when it comes to exercise and movement. Yeah, so Puneet says some people should take staircase while going up and take the lift while going down. and by reducing stress on your knees. So yes, this is what it is. Very important. Good point, Puneet. Is most people think that I will go down the stairs and I will go up by lift. But ideally, one, you should be actually doing both. There is nothing wrong with doing both. But if you have some problem, okay, with your knees, then you should avoid climbing down the stairs and not going up, because going up is against the gravity. You're actually creating a strength stimulus, but coming down is where your gravity is already pulling you and you're resisting. It puts more pressure on your knees. So people are right. If you want to take stairs, you can climb up and come down both, which is ideal. But if you have knee problems, then you can still climb up if that really works for you. Talk to your physio and doctor and come down using lift. Making sense, Manit? All right, thank you. Now, here is what you need to understand, because our body is not just muscles and skeletons and bones. The brain is the controlling organ. If you can't get your psychology, your mindset right around it, it is not going to help. So our default wiring in our brain is to save energy. Our brain will move only if there is threat or pleasure associated with exercise. If there is no threat or no pleasure, your brain does not want to move because it wants to save energy, right? However, understand this, you cannot be under continuous threat to move. There cannot be a mad dog chasing you continuously so that you keep running. You will tire out and you will have to stop. So that would not work that way. Now, another problem with threat-based, workouts and threat-based movement is once the threat is gone, you will stop. There is no reason or no motivation to move. This is one reason. This is one reason a lot of people who do rigorous exercise and very strict diets to lose weight, once they achieve their goal, they have no motivation or reason to follow that diet, follow their workout, and it is not something that they enjoy doing. So what do? They give up, right? And that's why they get all the weight back plus interest. Is it making sense? Has it happened with anybody? Punit must be feeling a deja vu of our morning discussion that we had, which was on a very similar line. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So if you're going to, use threat as a motivation, it is not going to work for you. What you have to do instead is enjoy the moment and the movement. Okay. Which means I'll tell you, you can do a lot of things with movement. You don't have to do anything which is too fancy or something that you don't like. You have to find pleasure in the action, not in the result. Okay. You have to find pleasure in the action, not in the result, which means I'll talk about options that you have, but anything that you do physically, you should enjoy doing it. And then it would become a habit, it would become a lifestyle. Absolutely, Shiva. Atomic Habits, he talks about it. Switch, if you learn, he talks about it. Dan and Dan Heath talks about it. So yes, that's what it is. Exercise cannot be treated as punishment, pain, and pressure, because if you do, it won't work for you in long term, right? And the biggest thing, exercise definitely should not be a compensation or punishment for a bad meal, for a cheat meal. Like in my coaching, when I work, we don't have cheat meals. And I have few people here who are already working with me or have worked with me in past. They can testify for this is one, there are no cheat meals and there is nothing like that. But you cannot compensate for the bad eating behavior that you had with exercise. Is it clear to everybody? Especially like people who are new to this, I've never met you guys. I know Preeti, Sunanda, and Puneet. I know you guys. We've worked together. We're working together. All of that. But for people who have for new, I think this is very, very important point. If you're going to treat exercise as a compensation, as a punishment, you are in for a trouble, my friend. Because what happens is, now every time there is physical movement, your brain will start associating that as a punishment. And you don't want that. As we already talked about, physical movement has a lot of health benefits. Weight loss is not what is the only thing or what it is meant for. Now, there could be somebody who said, Dhaval, you're wrong. I used exercise and I was able to lose weight. Now, even if that happened, there are very, very far and few chances it happens, and I can tell you why it happens. But even if that has happened for you, then again, if you just depend on exercise, it will be a single point of failure for you. The time you don't exercise, no results, and weight gain and poor health is back. So again, you should do exercise. It's a good thing, but do not depend on exercise for weight loss. Making sense? Type in MS if this is making sense for you, right? Okay, awesome. Thank you, Preeti, Olga. Now, next thing. Here is a study that friends at PN did, which is precision nutrition. And that's what where I studied. Most of the people say that exercise can maintain, but diet help in reducing weight. Am I correct? Maybe not. Okay. Because very simple, and we'll talk about nutrition tomorrow. It's very simple. You can always, end up eating more than what you can burn with exercise. So even when it comes to maintenance, you've got to really do both, and we'll talk more about it. So I'll give you another, awesome example. So friends at Precision Nutrition did this study, and they said, we took 100 sedentary participants, 50 stayed sedentary, and 50 began working out. They worked out 5.5 to 6 hours a week with a qualified trainer with a well-designed plan. And they did that for 12 weeks. And we made no changes to their eating habits at all. Now, without a dietary intervention, can exercise alone shape people's body? This is what the question is. Or reshape people's body? End of the 12 weeks, we got the answer. The answer was not so much. Without dietary control, 12 weeks of high intensity training produced fairly disappointing 1% body fat loss, which means if you're 100 kgs, you lost 1 kg of fat. Now, here is the thing. In terms of raw data, the participants lost that 450 grams of fat, but they also gained 900 grams of lean mass, which means if you actually step on the scale, you might find yourself about 500 grams higher in weight than you were earlier. And similar results have been produced by University of Oklahoma and many more. You can check the web and search, you will find similar results. And frankly, this really sucks, right? If you put in effort for 12 weeks, you would expect some kind of weight loss and fat loss. Am I right? Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Thank you for being honest. But here is the thing. When you actually combine exercise with nutrition plan, right nutrition, then both my clients and precision nutrition client, they lost 0.5 percentage of their body weight or about 405 grams per week. Again, it's based on your body weight. And that is approximately 6 kgs in 12 weeks, which is 10x better than only exercise, right? If you remember, in the PN study, they lost only 450 grams. Let me give you, some examples over here, like Namrata. when we worked almost 2 years back, she was 40 years in age. She was not able to lose weight even after regular workouts and controlled diet. And now her workouts are reduced. She's working out less, but she's still getting results, right? And this is where the right eating habits make sense and right approach to the workout makes sense. We change that approach from working out more and eating less to working out for really health and eating the balanced diet. And she lost 19 kgs in 11 months, and she had thyroid, mind you. So it's not that it was easy, and she was not somebody 25 young with nothing at all. She is mother of two kids, and she lost 19 kgs. How many of you think this is wow? Type in wow, and I'm sure Preeti probably knows Namrata as well, right? Yeah, yeah. So Preeti knows about it. Right. Thank you. I'll give you another example. Vikas, an IT professional from Bangalore. Another 2 years back when he worked with me, he said before joining Devel, he used to play a lot of sports, but never followed food practices, due to which he was overweight. And what we did was just make sure that he starts eating right. And he was able to actually work out much lesser and lose 14 kgs in 10 months. So, and the reason I'm sharing that with you is whatever I'm telling you has been like, I have proved it on over 500 of my clients, and Precision Nutrition has used this on more than 1 lakh individuals. So what we are talking about is a lot of real life data, not some study which is done on a rat and mice inside somebody's lab. Is it making sense? Type in MS if this is making sense to you. Yeah, thank you. So the lesson for you, right? The mastery tips for you is here. Exercise plus nutrition is the key. Physical movement, exercise, and need both needs to be part of your life. Be more active, be on your feet, move around. That's where you get the thing. Because as I was saying earlier, we can easily eat more than what we can use. And that's the very simple reason why we put on weight. We think about it, maybe I see that differently, but that's the only reason why we have put on weight. Second, we rarely skip eating. Even if we are busy or traveling, we eat. Even if we are staying awake at night, we eat. Even if we are sick, we eat. But on those days, we are not working out and we are moving less, right? So eating is part of it. If we don't really tune that, only workout will not help. And third, eating is a survival mechanism. Your brain is wired to do it. And when you eat, it actually makes you feel safe. And on day 4, when we actually talk about a lot of emotional eating and stress eating, you will understand that, why you end up eating more when you're stressed, when you are in hurry, when you are emotionally, charged, right? So, but you may be doing nutrition wrong, right? So, what are you doing wrong? What are the right things to do? That's something we're going to cover tomorrow. So, having said that, I'm going to open this up for Q&A. Thank you so much for being here. I think this was awesome time. It's been 45 minutes over here. So, any questions? You want to unmute yourself? You want to come on a video? You want to put it in the chat box? I'm here to answer that for you. And before you type in your questions, let me ask you this. Did you guys learn something today? Type in learn if you learned something today. Right? Okay, awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much. I think this is more fulfilling for me because you guys learned something. So, while you can put your questions in here, let me tell you when it comes to exercise and movement. Thank you so much, Sanandaji. anything that you do is fine. You can start anywhere. You can always have a better plan. You can have a coach. You can get a plan, all of these stuff. But here is the thing. You can do walk, jog, run, cycle, swim, dance, lift weights, anything that you like, you can do it. You don't have to really, worry about it. So, yeah. Okay, let me just put this slide back up while you are putting your questions, because I think this would help you. I just figured that we may have skipped this slide. Okay. So I'm just going to share this slide once and I'll answer your question, Volga, in a moment. Yeah, so when it comes to exercise and physical movement, these are some of the mastery principles. Choose the activity, and this is your thing that you can take home. If you want, you can take a screenshot of it or make a note. Okay, choose the activity that you enjoy doing. Right, you can walk, jog, run, cycle, swim, yoga, dance, gym, anything that you like. Right, play some sport, whatever you like. Number two, choose the level of intensity that you can bear, okay, or slightly lesser than what you can bear. Think about it from a minimum effective dose perspective rather than thinking about what is maximum possible, right? Think about minimum effective dose. Okay, this is how doctors give you paracetamol dose, right? They don't give you maximum amount of paracetamol that your body can tolerate. They give you minimum effective so that your fever can come down. And the third thing, choose the amount of time that you can invest consistently. Even 5 minutes is a good starting point, then 0 minutes. Okay. So start with 5, make it 10, make it 15, 20, again 15, 20. And I can give you my own example. Today morning, like my usual exercise time is 45 minutes to an hour. Today morning, I had just 15 minutes. So I had two options. One, say, oh, I can't get all the scheduled work that I wanted to do today, so I will not work out. But what I did was, I said, okay, I have 15 minutes. Let me just use 15 minutes. And I did that. And I would highly encourage you to do that because that is how you are building consistency, right? Now, let me answer the questions. All right, Volga, I walk in the evening. Is it a right practice? Now, here is the thing. If you enjoy doing it, if it is helping you achieve your goals, that's awesome, right? Does it help answer your question? Is there something else? Soumya, what exercise are suggested for 40 plus women for fat loss and muscle gain? Very simple. It depends upon what is your current conditioning level. So, for example, if you are sedentary, deconditioned, any exercise that you start with, including walking, including what people considered as cardio, will induce strength stimulus. Okay, stimulus for strengthening, which means that it will generate hypertrophy, which is muscle gain, and make your bones and joints, stronger. Now, when it comes to fat loss, I think you did not join from the start, so you may have missed it, Soumya. You can check the replay in the Facebook group, and I will try to share that tomorrow as well if I have the recording, which is that, for fat loss, only exercise is never going to be enough. You can choose any activity that you enjoy. It will help you burn calories, but nutrition is the bigger piece of the puzzle when it comes to fat loss, because as we said, you can eat way more than what you can burn. Is this making sense? It is not about squats are better or deadlifts are better or HIIT is better, because it doesn't really work that way. Okay, awesome. Volga says, I enjoy since it is a free time with no pressure, phone calls, or any official work. So that becomes your, what we call it as leisure time and active recovery, which is awesome. So great. If you like it, you enjoy it, that's great. Any other questions? Anybody's got questions? We have Olga, Vikas, VM Mohan. We haven't seen you participate, Mohan. So if you want, you can ask questions. Sunanda ji, Soumya ask questions. Shiva, my friend from my Microsoft days. Saurabh, SK Jha, Preeti, Ashish, Puneet. Any questions? If you have no questions, type in no. So we know you don't have questions. No, says Preeti. Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. So guys, if there are no questions, we can always wind this up. SK Jha, my goal is to be having high energy. Got it, Shiva? So what's the question with respect to that? If there is any questions. You answer my questions before I ask, says Sunandaji. Okay, thank you. So Shiva says, how can I keep it? The Shiva, energy levels are, a subset of lot of things, right? So if it is about nutrition, because you got to wait for tomorrow, you will learn about nutrition the same way that would what you learned about exercise today. So we'll do that. So to answer your question, Shiva, energy means like, what is consuming your energy. If you actually found too many things, if your stress levels are high, if you're not sleeping well, if your daily movement is less, then you will have less energy. Or if you're eating more, you will have less energy. Okay, here is the thing. When you're sleeping more, and we'll talk about sleep, I think your question would be much more suited after 4 days or 5 days, but I'll still give you, when you're sleeping more, your body is relaxing, rejuvenating. Okay, that's where your sleeping 8 hours comes. Second, when you're moving well, your body is functioning well, it helps you, circulate your blood, oxygen in your body better. That gives you more energy. Mitochondrial function becomes better, which means more energy. Brain functions get up better, which means more energy, right? When you're eating less, your body has to, when I say less, which means, it's again depends upon how much you have to eat, but eating comparatively less, again, you don't have to spend so much of time digesting and storing that food, which means more energy available for you to do things, right? So it's a little complicated, Shiva. I think end of day 3 or 4, you will get much more clarity, but it's a combination of all of these things. It's like, spokes in the wheel, right? If one of them is not right, your energy levels will dunk because of that. Ashish says, much thanks for your valued presentation. My pleasure, Ashish. Okay, how does water help? SK Jha. How do I tell you? 70% of our body is water. In terms of chemical thing, all the chemical reactions that happen in our body happen in presence of water. Now, when any reaction has to happen, if there is not enough water, these reactions become slower or they become disabled, right? That's where your energy levels can drop down, your sleep quality can drop down, your digestive issues can happen, your ability to, really absorb nutrients from your body can become problem, your thinking process can become dull, all of these things. So we can get dehydrated much faster. If we don't get enough water, we can't flush the toxins out our body. So thousands of benefits of water. I just gave you a little more, right? I have a habit of eating at regular interval. Is it a good habit? Again, Volga, see, when you talk about eating, you will learn more tomorrow. But eating, it is proven by multiple studies. It's not about how many number of meals that you take. Okay, what's the total amount of food that you consume is what scientifically is going to impact your weight. That's number one. Second, if you want to eat frequently, is that something you enjoy doing? Plus, you have resources to make that happen consistently, and it is giving you results that you want, then you can continue doing that, right? So that's the answer to your question. Is it making sense? Thanks for sharing useful knowledge, says Vikas. SKJ says, okay. Volga, did that answer your question? Yeah. All right, we have 4 more minutes. If there are any other questions, I'll be here till 8 and I'll answer all the questions. So if you have questions, I'm here for you. Feel free to be here. Right? Questions? Okay, if you have no questions, type in bye so I know that you're dropping off. Bye, Shiva. Thank you so much for joining. Bye, Volga. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you, Preeti. Appreciate that. I'll see you guys tomorrow with a hot topic of nutrition. Bye, Ashish. Right. Thank you, SK, Ja, Vikas, Volga, Puneet. All right. Bye. Thank you so much, all of you. Thank you, Sunanda ji. Bye bye. Good night.